On this week's episode of the All About Hennessey Show, Hennessey Public Schools Superintendent Jason Sternberger gives us an update on career tech, the outside classroom, and Hennessey Public Schools' status on COVID. We also meet Ivan Cabral, KJ Filmworks Director of Business Development, and talk about his journey and what he does at KJ. All this and more on this week's All About Hennessey Show. This show made possible in part by Cherie Hicks, State Farm, auto, home, property, business, life, and health. And Integris, Bass Baptist Health Center, IntegrisOK.com. I've got Jason back. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
We've been through Christmas
Holidays
and all that kind of mess. And you've got, at last board meeting, you got a lot of balls up in the air. You got a lot of cool stuff happening. With construction projects and things like that, and then the VOTEC, it was like the big discussion.
Career tech, yes.
Career tech.
Yes,
I'm old school.
Old school, I know.
I went to a VOTEC.
Yes.
But the career tech is kind of
topic of discussion. Yeah, I mean, we're getting to a point that we've got to, do something one way or the other. Fish or cut bait is at some point in time. We've talked about it enough. I think Mr. Griffin said that was about his fourth presentation through the years of over his 20 years, and I know other board members, and it's just at a point where we're trying to solicit as much input as we can from people. Appreciate the couple that came the other day, and I think they'll put the email here on below on this. Yep. But send me your suggestions and input, and I would like to. We're going to wait a little bit, but on February 1st, I think that's that Tuesday. At 5:30 there in the conference center there at Auditorium. Just have a community meeting, and it's just a question and answer, not trying to convince anybody or talk anybody in or out, or, we've had really good feedback on this. And everybody's in agreement on one thing, and that's what we need to try to figure out something to do extra for our kids who are non-college bound. And, whether it's some sort of training that we can figure out what to do at a local level, it makes sense at a career tech because they have, that's what they specialize in. And kids can, in some, many of the fields they can get certifications and they can be job ready. But anything that you do that when you're looking at a permanent tax increase, then it's like, well, is there options that we have maybe to do things locally? So that's the feedback we're trying to get because, it is going to be a permanent tax increase.
Yeah, to clarify, those that haven't been following this thing, is that there's a vote. When's the vote, in February, or is it in?
So we've not called a resolution for a vote at all.
But there will be a vote coming.
That's where, if anything, I think it would be like mid-June is what the dates, if I remember the time frame. Okay. Because as a local board, we would have to pass a resolution and then approach, obviously we would have approached the career tech beforehand, but then talk to Chisholm Trail or Autry, because we're in a unique situation where, one's a little bit further than the other, but they've also who we've been working with the last 3 years. And so, we have to make the decision of, one, what career tech we want to be full-time member of, and there is a little bit of a cost difference there. But then also, then you have to pass the resolution to do that, and then you have to pass a vote. So it's not just picking the school determines it. Picking the school is just one of the first step. So we would have to pass a resolution as a board, take that to the school that we have talked to, and their board would have to pass a resolution. Then goes to the State Department, they pass the resolution. And I think the time frame to get all of that done was going to be like a June election.
Right.
And so because we could have had a little bit earlier, but we just
that was really pushing it, trying to
it was pushing it, and that's not what we want to do to the community. It's obviously it's been out there a while and there's been discussion, but as you said, we're coming to the end of our rope here, and we don't want to make a rushed decision and want as much feedback from everyone involved that I can take to the board. And next board meeting is February 14th. If you're unable to attend the February 1st community hearing, there will be something on the agenda, probably not an action item at that time, but please come out and questions and answers. We're going to try to we are going to build frequently asked question page on our school website that has, things frequently asked. And so hopefully that will help people and spur some more questions, because, it's a big decision to make, and we just want everybody to have the proper information.
The vote will be to increase taxes to pay for this thing. And, some people are, oh my gosh, but I think if you hear the whole story, it makes sense about why this. I'm a career tech or a VOTEC guy.
The old VOTEC, yeah.
And I really believe in that. If you're just not a college bound, or you're not sure, this is something, either a prep for college or help try to make a career decision.
That's right.
Without, a big tuition expense and things like that. So
that is correct. And we're just talking from the school point of view. There's a lot of business services that they provide that doesn't even really deal with my aspect of it. But there are a lot of safety trainings and basically professional developments for businesses that they offer.
In my field, as a video production company, we do a lot of heavy industrial training, and we're required to have all the OSHA certifications, H2S training, and safety training, and the actual card that says we have that. And if Hennessey was in one of the two districts, we could get a discount for doing that.
Correct.
Because it's pretty expensive. So all the oil field companies and that around here would be able to take their certifications and that.
That is correct.
One of the two schools. So pretty neat deal. But if you have questions, now's the time to speak up, raise your hand, ask questions,
definitely.
because after the fact, nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
We lost wood shop and those kind of things over the years. Those sort of dwindled away, and this is it's not a new thing, but boy, it's really important. It's really, really important. Any of you that are trying to remodel your house or find a plumber, this is the thing that kind of helps get that fixed. I know, because I've experienced.
You were pointing at me. I was hoping you were going to say call Mr. Sternberger on that, because I'm not the guy to call.
He's not the plumber.
Believe me, I am not the guy to call on that.
He's the guy running from the leak. Yes.
Yes.
No!
Yes.
So there's a lot going on over at the early education building.
Yes.
It's literally the grass is greener on the other side of the fence.
That is correct. So that area right there on the west side of the Early Childhood Center, where the parents drop off the kids of a morning and pick up, that is the area that we had applied through the ESSER funds and received a grant to get outdoor classroom there. And so they should finish up with that hopefully by tomorrow. And be done with that. And so weather, cold weather this week maybe slowed them down a little bit, but we'll see. If not, it'll be first next week.
This is like a high-end AstroTurf. If that's is that the right term for it?
Just turf, yeah. It's not the old AstroTurf,
but it's the same as like on like a pro football field kind of a thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It wears a little different. There are different variances, but this is a high use turf.
Yep.
We want the kids out there. I know Miss Mack has ideas, and the teachers, they'd like to build some canopies. That way, if it's doing something, raining outside, you could still get underneath that.
Or
and have
shade.
Shade, shade, very important in August. And, good point. But they're going to have a stage, thanks to the Hennessey Foundation. They've got more money coming in and going to sponsor some of the outdoor modules that they have. And so, it's going to be a deal that, tables and picnic tables, what have you, reading areas, an aquatic station area.
And then Leonardo's. If you've ever been to Leonardo's Adventure
That would be
Quest.
the goal, is to just keep adding to it, and then, and not just build it once and be done, but continue to add to it, and a place for our kids to go. And then, if it rains out and the sun comes out, you can go right out there and be on it. So yeah, we're very excited about that.
And that's the cool thing about the turf. No mud. No
mud.
No mowing. Yep.
Exactly.
Just go out and blow it off or vacuum it, I guess. I don't know.
I think you could do that. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, we're very excited about that. So thank you to the Hennessey Foundation.
That's going to be an ongoing. We'll keep you up on.
And I think you're doing pictures and what have you.
Yeah.
On the Good.
We'll put pictures up of what we were actually talking about.
Good.
All right. So the big looming elephant in the room is the COVID thing.
Oh yeah, COVID.
And, Kingfisher closed a couple of days last week, and so where are we at?
So we're pretty fortunate here. I put out a memo last week, and numbers around and in this area, they are continuing to increase. As of today, we have 7 staff members who are actual positives and 17 kids. So, 17 kids is right at 2% of our student population. Now, we have a few others that have chosen to quarantine and what have you, and the big deal, and visiting with Kingfisher and another school, Cashin, I know, was one that closed as well, virtual as well. And the main reason, staff members, they couldn't find enough subs. And so that's kind of where we're at as well. We're right on the edge. Teachers are having to cover classes, and of course it's a hard time to talk subs into coming in because either they may be sick or they're, it's like, well, COVID numbers are rising, and I'm not really excited about going up and subbing at the school. But with that, that's my pitch. If you would like to help us out in this this time of teacher shortage and cover a half day or day, I mean, we it's needed because our goal is to try to stay in school. I think everybody agrees in-person learning is the best, but at some point in time, then you weigh in the student safety. So we don't. You've got to. I mean, we're not going. There's been years before COVID that schools would cancel once they got up into that 20% range, and so that's what we're going to track. Is if we see an immediate double spike or 2 or 3 days in a row, and it's like, hey, this is just getting too hot here. We need to slow down. There's some kids that may have symptoms. Parents, we can test on site. It's open to anybody in the community.
Yeah. Don't guess.
If you're not sure, just come get tested. And if that's not what your belief is, and then we encourage you to stay home. I know we've revamped the semester test exemption where that's not going to count against the kids because during this time it's like, oh, well, we're not going to try to penalize you, so to speak, of having to take that semester test, because if you're not feeling good, we really don't want you at school and taking the chance of you continuing to wear yourself down or spread it on to others. And so, just a lot of common sense right now. And like I said, we can test, Nurse Shelley can test at school, have that option available for you. But knock on wood, and this thing could blow up any minute. But it is something we are monitoring, and if it's not to a point where we're just going to be hard-headed about it, and if we see a pattern that we feel like it's just too much of a threat, then we'll just go virtual.
Well, it seems they'll get a better handle on it this time. Where it's not just like shut everything down, go home, everybody hide. It's kind of you're working through it carefully and weighing the options and. Yeah. Yeah, that first time it just caught everybody off guard, sure.
And so now we kind of have a little bit better idea, or think we do anyway, and so that's kind of what we're doing. And then as far as activities go, it's just going to be a case-by-case scenario. If we have to do virtual school for a day or two, it's just not an assumption that that activities for that evening may be canceled. I mean, the reason we may be having to go virtual is we can't find subs. And if our basketball teams don't have anybody that has tested positive, and there's no reason to discontinue that. So everything will be just looked on a case by case situation based on that activity. And
just watch our page, and we'll let you know if we think.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll get information out as soon as we make a decision on that. And once again, that's you have questions on that, or attendances or anything, call your child's principal's office. They can share that with you, and so we're all in this together, and so that's what we're here for, is to answer questions.
Very good. Anything else going on?
Oh, just a lot going on. But,
that'd be a whole nother show.
That could be a whole other show.
Yes,
but no, nothing major, nothing that needs to be out right now at this time. We got some, like you said, some of those potential construction projects that we talked about. The main thing I wanted to talk on that is just get word out that we got a lot of ideas, but right now in the building fund, we're going to have to, build it up a year or two before we can get to those. And so
you just need your goal, kind of need to know where you want to be
when
you get there.
That's right. We got the roadmap kind of set of what now. Now we just need to collect some funds and let it build up a little bit, and then we can start pursuing some of the other things.
Good. Lots of exciting things coming. Stay tuned. This show made possible in part by Cimarron Electric, serving Northwest Oklahoma with clean, reliable power for over 100 years. CimarronElectric.com. And DK Recycling of Hennessey, 405-853-6951. I hope the lights stay on. This is Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday. This is the very, very windy day with the big cold front, and then there was just a fire, and the lights kept blinking on and off. So I hope if we disappear, the lights went out. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I have Ivan Cabral. Ivan has been with KJ. He started on the All About Hennessey side, and Ivan is from Hennessey. You've lived here pretty much your whole life.
Yep, since I started Head Start here.
Yep, that's right. So anybody his age, he's been here for like ever, it seems like. Yes. And what year did you graduate, Hennessey?
I graduated in 2014.
And you were on that famous football team that
Yeah,
went to state.
I was part of the first football team that won state in 2010, I believe. So if I don't fumble it.
Literally, no sport jokes here. And now you are you married sort of a Hennessey girl.
Yeah, when she used to visit Hennessey a lot when she was younger, and she's from the city. And we got married, and she came back to the place she didn't think she was going to come back to.
In fact, you actually met in Oklahoma City, didn't you?
Yeah.
It was one of those weird deals where you met in Oklahoma City and
had no idea, and then
had a common connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just weird. And
somewhat.
you have two amazing little girls.
Yeah, we do. They're a handful.
Yep.
They're great.
They're characters. They come in here running around, and then the only way I can quiet them down while they're in here is tell them there's a bug.
They're full of energy, that's for sure.
Very afraid of spiders, and we have a few. Now, your wife is sort of like famous on her own.
Oh, yep, of course.
They own, Ivan and his wife, or maybe it was only your wife, owns Red Levay.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, that's her. That's
I
her
always
studio.
say it wrong because it's a French
Red
accent.
Levay, yeah. Yeah, if she was
Levy,
here, she'd
it's
call you
Levay.
out.
Red Levay Dance Studio. And you built that from scratch.
Yep, we bought some land, and we decided to build it to what she wanted to do. And it's her thing.
So this is like her dream studio.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. I mean, brand new building and this huge dance studio with all the mirrors and the cool sound system, and
that's her baby.
Yep, very good. So you may have seen, and she was in charge of the Palm Squad too.
Yeah, she works with them.
You probably have seen them on the football field or a basketball game or something, and
for sure. And I just want to say, if you ever see me at the studio, I'm not just some weird guy there. I help her out here and there with different things. So if you see me at the studio, it's not just some random guy at the studio. It's me.
Some creepy guy in the corner at the dance
taking
studio.
Pictures and whatnot.
And if you ever follow them on social media, on their Facebook page, it's some great photos of all the kids doing things and lots of little videos. And it's fun to watch the little bitty ones dancing.
Yeah, that's all. It's always great taking pictures and video of those. You love seeing that, and they're how they dance, and you get a little laugh in there. Well,
they try so hard. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now, Ivan started as our director of business development. The way KJ works is KJ Filmworks is like the parent company, and we're a film production company. And then the All About Network is a division, if you would, of KJ with All About Hennessey and All About Stillwater, All About Kingfisher, and all the network. There's 6 of those. Yep. And so Ivan started as the director of business development for.
I've been called many
network.
different things from Jack.
Yeah, he answers to pretty much anything other than what's for lunch. And but we found Ivan is like highly creative and is actually just a natural at photography and video editing and graphics and things like that. And so he's kind of migrating over to the KJ side. And we have a big announcement, a new employee big announcement coming just really, really soon. Everyone's going to be surprised at this because everybody knows.
Yep.
I'm going to leave it at that. So stay tuned for that. And then I hope this video makes it. Ivan has to actually edit this.
It's a little weird being on the other side.
I think the camera's still running because he's usually back there running the camera, and now he's in front of it. But I hope you can make something out of this.
Right.
Sheesh. All right. Anything you want to tell everybody?
Just stay updated with us. A lot of things coming, and
a lot of changes. A lot of big announcements and big changes. We're growing like crazy in both the film side and the network side. So stay tuned. Be sure to click the subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to be sure you never miss an episode of the All About Hennessey Show. Check out this week's All About Hennessey Post newspaper and subscribe for free at allabouthennessey.com.